Yep, they painted the whole thing green. So, yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are back in Vehicle Simulator, and in today's video we are going to be exploring the RMS Olympics interiors, both the 1911 version and the 1930 version. So it's going to be really cool, and we're going to crash them into each other at the end. So yeah guys, let's get into the video. Alright, here we have the RMS Olympic, and yeah, we've already looked at the exterior in the first video I did on the game or simulator, and this time we are going inside the ship to take a look at the interior differences from the Titanic, and then we'll compare this version of the ship to the 1930 version of the ship, and I'll give you my thoughts on the interior. So yeah guys, here we go. Alright, so starting out the tour, here we are on the bridge, the command post for the vessel. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first difference, which is the wheelhouse here is actually rounded. It's not flat like Titanic's. Actually, this would be changed in the 1930 version of the ship, which is really interesting. Now, moving inside the wheelhouse, we also find another difference. The wood is not painted white, and I actually quite like this because it brings out some color inside the ship. Instead of just having white ceilings, white walls, white cabinets, and whatnot, you actually get to see some color here, which is really nice. Now, here's another difference. I pointed this out in the first video I did on the game, but as you can see, we have an open promenade going from the stern to the bow, and it is unobstructed. So this is really cool. So you get to see a really nice view all the way along, and yeah, you get to just feel the breeze of the ocean wherever you're standing. So that is very nice. But let's go ahead and move to the interior of the A-deck portion of the ship. Now here we are in the grand staircase. This looks beautiful, and it's pretty much identical to Titanic's until you start getting down a little further in the ship. So let's go ahead and peer down a few decks. Alright, so here we are at the D-deck landing of the grand staircase, and you can already see on the right hand side there is an entrance there. On Titanic it's quite different. But yeah, Olympic's dining room and reception area were slightly different. The reception area is actually a little more different than the dining space because it has these added walls here. Well, they're not really added, they're just put there. So actually, they were removed for Titanic. So yeah, let's go ahead and peer into this area over here. And you can see it's much wider, and I actually really like this as well because it really makes it feel more open. The only thing that I would change though is adding a door kind of right in this area, but you know, right here is fine. So moving over to the other side, we'll find another difference that a lot of people seem to miss, and there is a staircase going down to E-deck right here, which is interesting. So yeah, if you didn't know it, there it is. So that is really cool. Now, looking at the wall that divides the dining room and the reception room, we can see that there's quite a lot of arches here. Now, on Titanic, these arches were removed and replaced with a different type of arch, a wider one that allows for a more, I don't know, I think it was more to open up the space instead of restricting it with all of these columns. But, you know, that's only what we can speculate based on one photo of the ship. So let's go ahead and move into the dining room. Now, as far as I know, the dining room is identical to Titanic's other than those arches over there. But yeah, since this is pretty much identical, we're gonna move on. Alright, so here we have the kitchen space, and this is super interesting. I've never seen this before. And yeah, it seems like you would just collect the food from these three arches here, and then you'd bring it out to the awaiting passengers to be consumed by them because yummy, yummy food. Anyways, yeah, here we have the dining room, and we just saw part of the kitchen there. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move to F deck, where we will see some pretty heavy changes to the Turkish baths. Well, they're not really changes. The changes would be for the 1930 version of the ship because this is the original version of the ship. This is when it was launched. So yeah. Alright, here we are on F deck, and you may be asking, why is there no door here? Well, it's simple. There's no door because there was no door there on the Olympic. To get into the Turkish baths, I believe you had to go through this door, maybe? Yeah, there you go. So you have to go through this door here, which on Titanic was a generator room or something like that. But as you can see, this is the Turkish bath area, and you can see that we have some portholes here. And on Titanic, they still had these, but there were actually no portholes behind it because it was actually 1 or 2 walls within the ship. It wasn't actually near the hull of the ship. So there was actually a hallway on the other end of this on the Titanic. So yeah, very, very interesting. But yeah, I don't know if this version of the ship has the pool. It has a watertight door. Let's see. Yes, it does. Look at that. We have a pool here. So that is awesome. Now, my question is, do we have any saunas or anything? Nope, but I already see we have the 3rd class dining area. So, yeah, very cool. Now, making our way back up the grand staircase, we find ourselves on C deck. And on C deck, you can find the purser's office. So, making our way in here, we have the wonderful safe along with a bunch of other furniture and whatnot, like desks and this very large, what seems to be mail table, mail shelf. Don't know, you can correct me in the comments, but yeah, it looks really, really nice, and actually we have some deck plans over here as well, so this is really cool, so you can actually see where you're going. Now, another interesting thing is that it doesn't seem like this hallway has the pipes on the side, so I don't know why it isn't like that, but I'm pretty sure that on Olympic, it was just like Titanic, where it had the pipes in the side of the hallways. But making our way aft, we come to the aft grand staircase. Yes, there were 2 of them on all 3 ships, the Britannic, the Olympic, and the Titanic. Now, making our way aft of the aft grand staircase on B deck, we find ourselves in the a la carte restaurant. Now, this room was so famous on the Olympic that it was expanded on Titanic to allow for more seating, and it was actually expanded out to this side of the hull here. And you'll notice on Titanic that they don't have a really large open promenade in this area because they expanded the a la carte restaurant, so it's just windows here. But yeah, that is really cool, and it is an amazing room on the Titanic and the Olympic. Sadly, never got to be on the Britannic, but yeah, we all know how that ended. Moving aft from there in the 2nd class entrance over here, we have the 2nd class staircase, which we all know, and we have the 2nd class smoking room, which looks really nice on the Olympic. I mean, look at this room. This is fantastic. Kind of reminds me of the Cunard interiors with the dark wood. So yeah, really, really cool. And you have this little exit here that goes out onto the aft deck here, well deck, and fantail. So yeah, really, really cool there. But we are not done. We're going to take a look at the 1st class interiors and accommodation. Now, starting aft and moving our way forward, we have the 1st class smoking room, so you can see the comparison from the 2nd class to the 1st class here. And it is very similar to Titanic's, almost identical, minus a few details like stained glass here. And I gotta be honest with you folks, this is my favorite room on the Olympic and Titanic. The reason why is because, I mean, look at the contrast in colors. A lot of Titanic's interiors have the lighter wood, but now you have a really nice dark wood here along with this lit up stained glass as well. So that is really, really cool. And moving forward, we find ourselves in the aft grand staircase once again, but then we're going to move all the way forward here to the most famous room, or one of the most famous rooms on Titanic, the 1st class lounge. Now, some of you may know this, but this lounge still exists today in the White Swan Hotel. When they scrapped the ship, they took all the panels out and then they reassembled them in a hotel. So that is awesome. And we are back in the 1st class grand staircase, the forward 1st class grand staircase. And yeah, that really does conclude our tour of the interiors of the 1911 version of Olympic. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the 1930 version. Alright, and here we have the 1930 refit of Olympic. Now, if I go ahead and just fly out a little bit over here, you'll see some major differences already. I mean, we've got a lot more lifeboats, we've got this brand new sheer stripe along the side of the ship, and you have a black band breaking the white superstructure from the actual sheer stripe there. And there are also some differences in the stern portion as well. So if you come over here, we have this bridge. This is from the war. This was added during the war. Not quite sure, but the Queen Mary also got that. I spoke about that in my last video on Tiny Sailor's World, where I was speaking about the differences between the post-war version of the Queen Mary and the pre-war version. So as you can see, this is very nice. Now, obviously, Queen Mary served in World War II, not like the Olympic that served in World War I. And actually, in World War I, it sank a U-boat, which is crazy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the interiors, but we're gonna start at the bridge. And here we are, and sadly I am disappointed by this bridge. They have removed the rounded off bridge and replaced it with a flat one similar to Titanic's. And then going in here, we have really just white paneled walls, really kind of just drab, to be honest with you. There's no contrast whatsoever, and they moved the watertight door indicator panel, or, well, they've added a watertight door indicator panel, and they put a switch over here instead of putting it over by the wheelhouse, so, or the bridge, I should say, because this is the wheelhouse. So, yeah. Now, another cool thing, now, I obviously didn't mention this in the last video I did on the Olympic, but you can see that the davits have been slightly changed with a lot of extra gears and this weird massive handle. I guess it just makes it easier for launching the boats. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and move on to the first class interior spaces. Now brace yourself, it's gonna get a little funky. If you're a fan of green, you're gonna love this. If you're not, I'd turn away now, but here we go. Yep, they painted the whole thing green, so yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Yeah, as you can tell by my voice, I'm not a really big fan of this color. I mean, I get it's the 1930s, I understand, but please don't ever do this. If you have a ship, if you're a ship owner, please don't do this. This is horrible. I really dislike, I mean, this doesn't even contrast. How does that contrast? You get white and then you get green. Okay? Yeah, no. Alright? You might as well just go ahead and paint it red, to be honest. Oh gosh, it just doesn't end. The entire thing is like green. Look at this. How does this contrast? I mean, this contrasts with this, but this does not contrast with this, folks. Just don't do this. If you are ever going to refit a ship, don't do what happened here. Now, making my way aft, sadly, the aft grand staircase did not escape the refit, and it was painted green. But one thing that I do really like about this room, something that I most enjoy about the refit of the ship, is this one space right here, the barber shop. I mean, look at those windows. It just adds a lot more to the ship when you actually have this really open space here. I think this was a great idea, and it looks just fantastic. Now, going in, we have the barber shop here with lots of scissors, so if anyone wants to get their hair cut, you can get it done here. And I do like the interior here as well. It really makes it feel like a street corner as well, like if you're walking by a street corner and you see like these shop windows here, really nice. But nowadays you have just shops everywhere on cruise ships, and the whole thing feels like a shopping mall. So I guess this is kind of just the perfect amount of shopping mall-ish stuff. But yeah, here we go. Let's make our way all the way forward here. Now, I should also mention that the Olympic was also used for cruising services, so technically at one point it was a cruise ship. Now, making my way down into the reception room, there's one thing I do want to look at, and this is it. The entrance was changed to look like Titanic's. Remember before when it was just this big box on the side here? They actually pushed this bit in and just remodeled it and made it look like Titanic. And what's interesting is they didn't really have any positive reviews for this place here because, well, the ship went down. So, yeah, and they also removed the staircase here. So, this is identical to Titanic's. Now, the big changes come when we go into the dining room. And they added a dance floor for some reason, so you can get your boogie on and go ahead and start dancing in here. And yeah, they added this really nice rose garden area, and yeah, I guess it looks alright. I mean, I don't have anything against it, but yeah, really interesting. Let's see if that kitchen changed. Let's go in here. Hello. Nope, didn't change whatsoever. But this time when we go out here, it's like, what the heck happened? We're back on E deck again, and we're gonna skip it because there's nothing here. So, going down to F deck, this is where I'm a little interested to see if anything changed. So let's go through the door. Nope, nothing changed in here. Let's go to the pool. Has anything changed in here? Nope, nothing in there. They could have made it look like Britannic's, but they could have detailed the heck out of it, but nope, guess not. Yeah, so that was, oh gosh, yeah. I really don't like the green. But yeah, that was the grand staircase area. So let's move on. Now here we are in the beautiful lounge that has been untouched, thank God. But if we turn this way, you can already see there's green paint. Oh gosh, no! Feels like I'm entering the Wizard of Oz or something.
Oh! Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain!
And actually, what's interesting is these tiles, I believe, came off the Britannic after it sank because they never actually installed them on the Britannic. So, yeah. Now, making our way over here, I don't even know what this space is, to be honest. I don't know if this is just an extension of the a la carte restaurant, which is that room right there, all the nice wood paneling, the one I was commenting about earlier on the 1911 version. But, yeah, don't even know what this space is, don't even know what this paneling is. I mean, they could have made it look like that paneling, but nope, they just made it look like this, so I'm not going to question it. But here we have the wonderful a la carte restaurant, and finally, they added a Parisian cafe. I mean, look at this. This looks fantastic. It looks great. And if we go aft of here, they've kept the open promenade on B deck up until a certain point, and I believe, let's see what's through here. Yep, just cabins. So they actually added cabins in this section and took away the open promenade. So that is also really cool. Now we have some third class spaces here, but I neglected to show them in the 1911 version. But you can see they have slightly changed just a little bit. So yeah, really cool here. Now I believe the original ones were just wood paneling. So yeah, they've actually just painted the wood paneling white. So I guess that's fine. But there you go. So yeah, folks, that has been the 1930 version of the Olympic. And you know what time it is. It's time to crash them into each other. What happens when we crash the 1930 version into the 1911 version? Who will survive? They'll probably both survive. But if one or two of them start sinking, then that'll be cool. But yeah, let's find out. All right, let the battle begin. Let's go ahead and fire up the RMS Olympic to crash into the RMS Olympic. Will the RMS Olympic beat the RMS Olympic? We will find out on RMS Olympic. Let's find out. Here we go. We're moving the RMS Olympic towards the RMS Olympic. It will be a titanic collision. You know, I just had a thought. If we're the 1930 version of the RMS Olympic and we crash into the RMS Olympic from 1911, won't that completely destroy time itself? Alright, we're about to hit. The whistles are blasting. And here we go. We're about to see the collision here, folks. And boom. There is the collision. And nothing yet. Something might be happening. Uh-oh, it's working. Oh, it's on fire. It's on fire. It's sinking. It's sinking. Here we go. Oh, that's the wrong view. We're in the other ship right now. Oh, the water's getting a little close. Oh, we're underwater. Oh, no. Oh, wow, it just drove over the other Olympic. Well, that kind of shows who the clear winner is now. Looks like RMS Olympic wins against RMS Olympic, so it is true. The RMS Olympic can destroy itself. Well, there is the RMS Olympic on the bottom, and there is the RMS Olympic at the top there, sailing past. So, yeah, here we have the wreck of the RMS Olympic 1911 version. So, this is quite a sight, and if you look up, there is itself sailing by, which is very interesting. But, there we go. Well, there's only one thing to do now. And, well, it's to sink this one now. So, there we go. That should do. Oh, whoa! It's rolling over. Oh my gosh, look at that. The Olympic is rolling onto one side. Oh, and now it's going down. Look at that. Going to the bottom. And it is gone. Oh. Yep, there it goes. Righting itself before it slips under the waves, almost like the Lusitania there, heading to the bottom. So, yeah, there it goes. We're going to see it collide with the bottom here in a second. You can see as it just keeps dropping here, and it's going to land slightly level as well. So here we go. There we go. There's the collision with the bottom, actually leaning onto one side as well. But, yeah, there you go. You got the wreck of the RMS Olympic 1930, and then if we go over here, we have the wreck of the RMS Olympic 1911. So there you go. Alright guys, if you're new to this, make sure you leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye.